So what, you know, growing up, like what was some of those challenges, being a teen mom, and kind of talk about it, like, some of the similarities and the differences you see between now and then.
The challenges, well, I'm going to put some layers on top of this. Not only was I a teen parent, but I was a fat teen parent. I mean, Benjamin Button, if you would. I mean, that's how I stood out, so it rolls back around that when someone finally pays you attention, and he was a nice looking guy, that treated you right, you gravitate toward that. And back then, the love back then, what I'm seeing now with younger people is that we yearn for a family setting. Whereas now, a lot of people, when they have babies young, they don't yearn for a family setting. That's the difference that 20 years has made. We took pride in trying to form a family. The only downfall is that we didn't marry, but we raised our children. It was a joint effort. We did what we had to do, and that's why we have 2 successful children today. And this is respectfully, this is my opinion, that's not going on. We have the younger generation getting pregnant, but it's not a union. It's like it's a broken home. It's not even fathers assisting these young girls. So I was blessed to find someone who did assist me with our children, and they are awesome kids. So I bring it back to the layer, that the layer, not only was I a teen parent, but I was an obese teen parent. So when we're in those shoes, and I'm not even gonna say just obese women, but girls all across the table want love. And I found that, and I mean, I birthed several things from being, a plus size woman, as a mom as well. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah. Growing up, like, for you, what were some of those challenges, like, with, you bringing up your weight? Like, what was the challenge for you, as far as, like, your weight?
Oh, man. And speaking of time, we're talking about evolution, and evolution is beautiful because fat girls are winning now. Thick girls are winning. I mean, if you're looking at TV, we're winning. However, let's not be fooled. We want to be thick. We want to have a nice shape, but at the end of the day, health is the key factor. So we mustn't forget about that. But my challenges as a child, and I have to add another layer to it because this was my truth back then. I was also a darker skin. I was dark skinned. I had natural hair. Whereas it's crazy. I didn't want natural hair back then. I begged my mom for a perm. I didn't get a perm till high school. I had to sit with the hot straightening comb with Blue Magic grease on my head, and she didn't. Me being the bigger person in the house, I could not wear the stylish clothes that my sisters wore. I had to wear rubber in the waist pants. I had to wear the big shirts. They just didn't have style for me back then. But this evolution that we've encountered, 20 years fast forward. I could be just as stylish as a smaller frame person, if not more stylish. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about changes and times, back then it wasn't offered. I wear a size 12 shoes. I couldn't find a size shoe for me back then. I had that. Oh my God, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. But now I can be just as fashionable as the next person that's a smaller frame. So back then, fashion was a big problem. Today, it's a different problem. I can't get enough clothes. I like clothes. I love clothes. I love to be fashionable. And it's not only for me. I like to be a vessel for my fellow plus size sisters.
Absolutely. So speaking of fashion, let's get into fashion a little bit, and then we'll come back. I understand that you once had a clothing line named Crystyles.
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 Yes, Crystyles.
So, you know, kind of get into, you know, the beginning of that. And I also, too, want to know, like, you know, who were some of those fashion inspirations that you saw growing up, also, as well as right now?
Okay. Crystyles, that was birthed in 2017. And what Crystyles, of course, is derived from my name, base name Christy. And it was a fashion line catering only to plus size women. I've always been into fashion. Because once again, if you don't have a need that's being met, once you are able to meet that need, you just want to feed it constantly. And once plus size, I was working, I was in a good place financially. I was able to purchase clothes and be fashionable. I mean, people knew me as a diva. When they saw me, they knew always that I was going to step out in high fashion and stand out from the rest. I mean, I'm going to stand out anyway because I'm tall, I'm dark, big eyes. But not only that, I'm going to always have my fashionable items on and wear it with confidence. Yes, I have big thighs. Yes, I have big hips. Yes, I have big feet. But I've always loved everything about myself. So Crystyles came from just wanting to, it was so many plus size women reaching out to me and they would say, oh, I can't wear that. I'm too big. I never learned the women that didn't want to show their shoulders, that didn't want to show their arms, their thighs, their ankles, their legs. And so I started Crystyles not only as a platform for fashion, but for confidence, to show women that you don't have to be just a size 2 to be comfortable. Beauty comes in all forms, shapes, and fashions. And I'm going to help I help these ladies get there. So that's where Crystyles came from.